Hello everyone, and welcome to Mind on Monday. This is a weekly series of short lessons designed specifically to help you improve yourself, improve your daily life, find motivation and find courage to pursue your life's dreams and be your best self, all in less than a coffee break. My name is Agla Vaite, and I am here to take you on a journey of self-discovery. I'm just like you, so if I did it, you can do it too. Today, I want to talk to you about how to deal with situations that you cannot control. I personally struggled a lot in the past with the issues of control. Due to a number of reasons, some including early childhood influences, for the longest time, I've been what you call a control freak. Losing control over a situation was probably the most stressful experience I could ever imagine for myself. I've made tremendous progress since because I used this principle and I will explain it in a moment. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not completely laid back and without a care in the world person now. I still really enjoy being in control, but in a more healthy way, and when I can't be in control, I'm okay with that and I can relax and deal with the situation calmly. Well, most of the time. Sometimes losing control still scares me a little. One of the reasons why I sometimes purposely put myself in situations where I would not be able to be in control. If you want to learn more about that, please watch my episode about fear and doing things that scare you. This time, I will focus on situations you cannot control no matter what. Perfect example of a situation like that is the pandemic that we've all been living with for a while. You cannot control the pandemic, you cannot control when it ends or if it restarts again, you can't close or reopen borders, and you can't stop the virus from existing. Nonetheless, lots of people experience anxiety, stress, depression and other negative feelings due to the situation. But the truth is, whether you're beating yourself up and stressing over it, or whether you relax and accept it for what it is, the situation won't change, but the way you feel will. So there you go. That's the secret. If you can't change the situation, change the way you look at it. Imagine if you lose your job, for example. The situation is a fact. You do not have the same job at the same company as you did before. Now, the situation in itself is neither good nor bad. How you look at it will determine what it will be. You can look at it from a negative perspective and feel sorry for yourself, cry about it, complain endlessly, and eventually slide into a rut and just waste lots of time thinking how life is unfair and what did you do to deserve it, which would most likely lead to a case of depression or at the very least stress and anxiety. Or you could look at it from a positive mindset and see it as an opportunity. You could ask yourself, is the universe giving you a sign that maybe there's something else you should be doing? Maybe you hated the job and this was the push you needed to finally start doing what you love. Or maybe you did love your job, but maybe there is something you need to learn about yourself, some area you need to work on to grow into it and become even better than you were before. Maybe that's the push you needed to wake up and to open your eyes to the fact that you weren't giving it everything you have and you need to put more effort into your work and into yourself. Even Steve Jobs got fired from his own company at one point. When an event occurs, it is a fact. You cannot change that. But you can change how you perceive it, how you feel about it, and how you react to it. And notice I put react at the very end of that sentence. That's because the way we deal with situations happens in that exact order. Your brain will take in the information of an event, in this case you don't have a job, and interpret it, for example opportunity or disaster. And based on that interpretation, it will assign emotions to it, for example anxiety or excitement. So all of that happens in an instant. And only then, based on how that process went, it will send a signal to your body to react. Your heart might start racing, you might start breathing heavily, or maybe start crying, or even punching walls in some people's cases. So what you need to do is determine that very first input, that initial signal your brain sends out, interpretation. You can do that easily, you just need to train your brain. Every time you are in a situation you cannot control and you feel powerless, just take a few really deep breaths, take as many as you need to relax, and then change the interpretation. Actively tell your mind how to interpret that situation. And if you keep doing it over and over every time, your mind will learn the pattern and will start to look for positive interpretations automatically. Last important thing in dealing with situations you cannot control is letting go. A fact is a fact. You cannot change the past. I'll share another example from my life, and it's quite an extreme example, but it illustrates well what I'm trying to say. A very, very dear friend of mine killed himself a few years ago. He messaged me a few days before he did it, saying he was thinking about it. When I found out, the news shocked me. I blamed myself for it. I kept running things I said to him in my head over and over millions of times, trying to see what I could have done better, what else I could have done to stop it. Was there something else I could have said that could have prevented this? It was eating me inside. And grieving is a difficult process and a very individual process, so I'm not trying to tell you how to deal with that death here. However, changing my perspective really helps me look past the blame and misplaced guilt I assigned to myself. I accepted that there was absolutely nothing I could do to change the situation. I also knew that this wasn't my fault. It wasn't my responsibility, and the only reason I tortured myself was because the situation was completely out of my control, and I needed to blame someone for it so I could at least pretend that I have some control over it. So I blamed myself, creating an illusion of control. Releasing myself from this responsibility and accepting the situation for what it is helped me deal with one of the most traumatic experiences in my life. I chose consciously to look at the life he had, and I thanked the universe for having the chance to be part of it. I chose to feel grateful for the opportunity to have known this person and have learned so much from him. I chose to celebrate the life he lived and not mourn the life he lost. This helped me greatly to overcome something that at that point I didn't think I could ever overcome. And that's why I wanted to share this with you, in hope that by listening to my story, you can learn and overcome your own struggles. That's all for this week. Thank you very much for watching or listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, please hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. Next week, we will be talking about doubt and why it is important. Please share this with your friends and family. If you found this useful, share it with those you think would benefit from watching this. By sharing this, you can help others grow, you can help us grow, you can be the change you want to see. It is all in your hands, so act now, and together, let's build a better world. Thank you once again. Hope you have a fantastic week. I will see you all again next week, same place, same time. And remember, you improve your life by improving one day at a time.